Hi, my name is Melissa Daniels and I have strabismus. Strabismus is when your eyes are not pointing in the same direction like this. And I have been working for the last 4 years through vision therapy, getting my brain to use my eyes together so that they can become straight. I also had a strabismus surgery as part of the process. So one of the things I've been working on lately is maintaining progress since I've graduated from vision therapy. And I've been using this new app called Equalize, and it's an app for virtual reality, which is really cool. It's got a lot of different eye exercises and games to help get your eyes working together. And there's all sorts of settings to set it up so that it's a little bit easier for those of us with strabismus. I love the app. I completely recommend it. Here's the disclaimer. This app is not a good idea, and I do not recommend it in any way for anybody who hasn't done vision therapy. Okay? In vision therapy, you are learning so much. You're learning how your brain works, how your eyes are working. Your vision therapist and optometrist are helping structure an entire program for you, right? It's phenomenal. Once you've done all of that, you've actually learned a ton and you can work on things a little bit more on your own and with the help of your optometrist. So that is who this app, I would say, is more for. If you are really wanting to try virtual reality and you have strabismus and you're wanting to fix it, awesome. The best thing that you can do is find a vision therapy office and get started there, and they can kind of get you going in the right direction. And if you go to strabismussolutions.com/findvt, you can just fill out the form and I will actually send you my personal recommendations for wherever you live in the entire world. So that is your first step, is to be in vision therapy. If you've already done that and you have Equalize or you're thinking about purchasing it, this video is for you. If you don't have it yet, you can get it over at avalonweb.com/au. And if you use the code MDVR, Melissa Daniels VR, right? MDVR, you can get an extra 10% off, which is awesome. Without further ado, we're gonna jump into the video about how I'm using some of these different apps. Good morning. Today we are going to talk about 3 different exercises within Equalize, actually 4 that I use especially to help with my peripheral vision. And they actually can work a lot of different areas of your vision. There's over 17 different visual skills that you need for your eyes to work properly. And so these can help build some of those. So the first one is called saccades, and this can really help with saccades, which is when your eyes are jumping. It also involves directionality. The idea of the game is that while you're looking, at this table, there's this table and then there's artwork in the peripheral, and these cards are going to appear on the table in different locations with an arrow, and you have to click the arrow going in the right direction. And so this might be pointing right, it might be pointing left, and so you have to click the correct trigger to match it. It's a fast-paced game if you want it to be, and you can try to beat your score, which is kind of fun. I, of course, like to use it in a different way. I, for sure, am keeping my peripheral open the whole time. So as I'm jumping from here to there, to there, to there, I'm also aware of the paintings in the background, the chandelier on the ceiling, different parts of the table. So I love that there's some peripheral cues. Anytime that you can engage your peripheral doing this type of an exercise, you're going to build your depth perception in stereo. So that's one way that you can use the game, is while you're looking at these different targets popping up, you're going to engage your peripheral. The second thing that you can do is, I've talked about this in some of the other videos, is as you're clicking for the right hand, you can step with your left hand. Click with the left hand, step with your right hand. And so you're engaging both sides of your brain. The level 1 would be that as you see an arrow pointing to the right and you click right, you say right. As you see an arrow pointing to the left, you say left, and you say that out loud. To make it level 2, you can say the opposite. So if it's pointing to the right, you actually say left as you click with your right hand. This can kind of throw your brain for a loop, but it's just helping with visual processing, and really it can be a great exercise for your vision. The next exercise is called airplane, and you're basically in this like jet and you're flying around the sky and you're trying to pick up these, there's like little yellow sunshines that have points, and if you go through them, you get those points. And there's all these little airplanes around. I'm sure they all have names if someone's an airplane guru. and you can keep those planes in your peripheral. But if you hit one, then you are out. And so you're trying to keep your focus on getting those points, but also making sure you use your peripheral to avoid the other airplanes. Again, great way to use peripheral. Sometimes these clouds go through, there's a different jet that's going through, and it leaves these clouds of smoke, and you can get some really amazing depth perception there. And so keep your eye out for that. Always be looking for the space between the airplanes instead of just seeing it as like this flat, okay, there's some airplanes here. How much space is between all of these different things? How much is above and below? How much is between you and what you're looking at? So you're constantly trying to engage all of these different aspects of your vision together as you're keeping your central vision focus forward. Another one is called tunnel. It can be kind of similar. This one is a little bit boring, but again, it can be just a really good experience for your peripheral vision. So you're in this tunnel and there's a little race car, and you keep your eye on that race car. You can almost think of it like a Brock string, like the car is the bead, and then the stripes of the road could be the strings coming out. I can't quite get the X, but that's the idea, that you want to keep the car single, keep the line single where the car is, and if possible, can you see it doubling as it comes out? And then also you can keep the whole tunnel in your mind. And this can be really great for peripheral because you can feel yourself moving through that space, but you want to use your peripheral to see the movement of the walls going past you. And as you are watching for that movement, that's going to engage your peripheral in a different way and really help, again, with depth perception. So all these activities, they kind of do similar things, but in different ways. And so each one is going to work a little bit of a different aspect of your vision. The idea is you are just trying to keep your vision more open. As people with strabismus, a lot of times we hyper focus on something small and we block everything else out. We actually get tunnel vision. And so the idea is to undo that, to teach your brain to see bigger. Even if you don't get perfect depth perception, if you can take in more at once, you're going to be so much better off. And then the last activity, it is really challenging, and it's basically a claw game. So you move the claw and you have to try to pick up a bottle. And I've tried it dozens of times and was never successful because you basically have to have perfect stereo vision to do this. But I finally did succeed, so I was really excited about that. But what I use it for is seeing the space between the different bottles and the space above, and if you can try to keep those spaces matched up depth perception wise. And so you're looking at these different, I almost think of them as lanes. You've got lanes going this direction, this direction, this direction. And so you're trying to see all these different lanes simultaneously overlapping. Each of the exercises in equal eyes is definitely going to be beneficial. If you want more help on peripheral vision and you're confused at some of these techniques I'm giving you, I have an entire course called Mastering Peripheral that is available at learn.strabismussolutions.com. It can really help you get jump started into all of these different types of exercises, especially if you're in vision therapy and you need an extra boost. I'm going to give you some techniques that are going to help you expand your peripheral in a way that really opens up your depth perception. And I think you could really benefit from it. I know you can. So head over there, check it out, and then we will see you in the next video.